As I've said, BHL is divided into two parts. One is township where the employees and their family resides, and other part is like positionally opposite to the township where the factories and industries are there. IT industry, IT department, all other departments. There are so many departments, and these are being extended to very big large areas, both the township and the factories and departments. Now let's continue the vlog. We will explore all those have a sneak peek around this industries, departments, and the factories. Now I will give you a simple demonstration how the boilers work, the simple phenomena behind the boilers. So basically how this works is like we have a boiler, for suppose it works on the principle of pressure cooker or so in a broader sense. So take this to be a boiler, and we have some tubes. So these will be welded actually. So there we have so many tubes and they will be welded, and this is a closed container. For suppose we have two types of boilers, fire tube based, water tube based. As the name suggests, it's quite simple. Now whenever this from the heat source, heat is being produced and it is being distributed over here. If it heats these tubes, if these are fire tubes, and the water will be circulating around them. So this is the fire tube based thing. So whenever it heats it, the water will be like boiling point will be increased, and from here the steam will be released. As I've said, it works on the same principle. For example, we have some cooker, and the boiling point of water, let's say it is X if it is not closed. Now we have placed some lid, tightly sealed it. Now the boiling point of the water will be increased, which is greater than X. So it increases the pressure over here, and the boiling point is also increased. So the pressure here, it's in downward like this because we have closed the lid. So pressure overall increased, and boiling point is also overall increased. So this is the food will be cooked way faster than how it should be cooked normally in open environment, say for example pan or something like that. That's why food gets fastly cooked in pressure cookers. The basic phenomena behind the pressure cooker we use in like industrial boilers too. So these are fire based, and whenever the steam is being generated over here, we have turbines over here, and this is a very simple phenomena, gear mechanism, and this is a generator, turbine, generator, and again we will be getting the power supply from the generator. Basic phenomena, as you know, electromotive induction, all those things. So the basically what we have done, we use fire tube. So fire tube, which is what being like the heat is taken by the fire tube, and it will induce to water, for which because of that boiling point of the water will be increased. So basically we are just treating water as like moving around the fire tubes. In water tube based, what we will do means this is like a furnace, and we have the water tubes. So it will contain the water, and then what we'll do, the heat source is over here. The heat source will, what it will do, it will induce the heat to the water tubes. In the same way, the water will be, the boiling point of the water will be increased, and the steam is produced, and again it goes to the turbines and then go to generator. The same thing, same what happens here in the fire based and fire tube based thing happens in the water tube based thing. But the thing is, in fire based thing, what happens is it's like for low pressure equipments, appliances, we can use this because it depends on the wall, outer wall, and again it's thin, so we have to use only for low pressure appliances. And again it's relatively cheap to implement, but here in this fire water tube based, it's actually thermally efficient. Thermally efficient. And what we can say, as we are directly contacting water over here, so as the heat source, whatever we are giving, the heat is being given to the water should be filtered at first. So water should be filtered. If it contains some impurities, then again the rush formation, boiler corrosion, all those can take place. I will talk about that. Actually, like whenever the pressure inside this boiler or any pressure cooker, actually for example industrial boiler, increase attain the threshold limit, what happens like this gives lot of pressure to the furnace over here. So this wall should be thick, and again they will make all those things, steel things, high quality steel, all this rods, tubes, and this outer walls. So if the pressure increases certain limit, threshold limit, explosion can take place. So that's a major thing they will take care of while designing the boilers. And one more thing, so the things which can happen is boiler corrosion can happen, rusting, sludge formation, flux formation, all those can happen, sludge formation. And the way this happens, because like what are the side effects of this? If sludge formation took place in the boilers inside it, so uneven heat will be spread uneven. In the sludge front side there will be one heat, and back side some other temperature, or on the sludge we have one temperature, and beside around it other temperature. Because of that, heat is not distributed evenly. So because of non-uniform formation of heat, we will be having uneven heat distribution. This can cause like crevices, cracks, anything. Because of that, explosion can take place, all those things. And again, heat dissipation will be more. If heat dissipation more, efficiency will be less, because heat should be traveling inside this only, because we are just closing it completely. So it should be isolated with the outside environment. So if the heat dissipation takes place, and again efficiency, heat dissipation is more, then efficiency will be less. So these are some of the points which can be noted from here. So these things tend to take place in the boilers. And again, in the coming part of the vlog, I have seen these things. Various communities are there, like organizations, their places, all India parties, where all the communities will be there, right? So those departments were there. And again, some containers are there, trucks which load the input, they take the inputs and from the other companies, and they supply inside around the workplace, or from here BHL workplace to some other companies. So they will load the things. And we also saw this thing, cranes, big cranes. So truck can come over here. These are crane for suppose. Truck need to come over here. Truck comes over here, and the cranes will load the columns, all those will be there. Those will be loaded to truck by using some cranes thing. I will just show you in this video in the coming part of that vlog. And so these are the basic things. And I also went to industries like IT industry, IT departments, and the place where they make a deal, all those things. So continue the vlog. Wondered why in the middle of the workplace we have a railway divider or so anything like that. This is because BHL Trichy, pretty much any BHL needs heat source, and in BHL Trichy particularly they rely on coal. So transportation of the coal, tons, that much of raw material can't be done easily. So they directly have a train which comes to workplaces where it is required, the coal is required, it goes over there directly instead of the trucks going to railway station and picking it up. So that is the basic reason the divider is in the middle, so that the train comes in and it can travel wherever it's required in the workplace, whole in that BHL factory and industry area, IT area, and all those departments are residing over there. So wherever it is required, mainly in factories, so the coal is being supplied with the help of this train.